We have to wait for those 10 seconds. Do we have to wait for those 10 seconds, Manny? I'm too excited to wait 10 seconds. We can start right now.
Well, we have.
Oh, well, now I don't know what to say.
Do you know what bothers me with this image?
What?
You could have zoomed in and centered it.
What? Nah. I want the Raw logo in there.
Yeah, you wanted a Raw logo in there, but Marcus, look how much space is on this.
I know. It's just an empty blob.
It's just an empty space.
Manny, go to the next one. If wants her title back, you can see the longing in her eyes. I don't think she should get it, but I'll tell you why later. Next one. What we got? Is Becky Lynch a better heel than John Cena? They're basically doing the same role.
They are doing the same role. But you know what you forgot to do again this week? Punctuation. What? That is a question, sir. That is a question.
No, it's on there. It's just that we ran out of screen.
Ran out of screen. You can
ran out of screen. We ran out of screen.
You can make the font small.
It's too late. It's too late. I didn't know until we went live that it was not enough screen. Nope. It's there. Heel excuses, Manny. By the way, Seth Rollins this week dressed like Chris Tucker in Rush Hour 2. He was with Jeremy Piven, and he ended up with that alligator skin, caramel skin, whatever. That suit. It's the exact same suit. But choke his ass.
And then, unfortunately, an ECW legend of SABU has passed away. And there's strangeness that's come with it.
Yeah. Now we have the investigation. Was it homicidal, genocidal, or suicidal?
Too soon.
But we
too soon.
No, I'm a horrible person, but there are so many questions around this death, and there's so many people getting the blame for it, mostly Joey Janela.
Who would think Joey Janela would be still relevant, even though
he's a bad boy?
Welcome everybody to the Untitled Manny and Marcus show. We are back after a week hiatus. The bars are back in town. The bars are back in town.
The bars are back in town.
Our, of course, the racially ambiguous Lord Manny Hayes. He is
the racially inciting Marcus the Grand Finale, or racially ambiguous.
Racially inciting. He is a man that owes the Untitled Manny and Marcus show 140 drills.
Yeah, well, if you put it that way, you're never going to get those Drew Hills. You're never going to get it. But I will say, I'm changing my name from Marcus the Grand Finale to IO Sky.
Yeah. So this is the first show me and Marcus have been doing for an entire week. Together.
Yeah. What news is happening this week that isn't world news or entertainment news? What has happened in the professional wrestling world, Manny? Tell the people.
Well, there's just a lot of scheduling news. If you
go ahead, Boris, with someone's calendar. Bring out the calendar. Someone bring out the calendar. Our assistant is going over our schedule. Go ahead, Manny.
So I don't know when it's gonna happen, but what was the women's pay-per-view called? Evolution,
Manny.
Evolution.
Evolution was the wrestler from Total Divas. I believe only existed for Total Divas, I'm assuming. Because hell, she didn't do anything in the ring.
So the all women's pay-per-view WWE is has been leaked. There's no date or date when it's going to happen, but it's in the works. Out the gate, last time they did this, they had Ronda Rousey headline it.
Yeah,
Ronda Rousey's not needed anymore.
No,
they have built some stars outside of the four horsewomen. Who do you think headlines it? Just out the gate, like roughly.
You don't want me to say what I want to say, but I'm going to say it anyway. Due to it being non-title, and it makes no sense why it would make sense, I'm going to throw out a triple threat match: Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, if she's healthy, and Naomi. Triple threat match.
Ooh.
Finish off that feud.
I don't even know a headline.
No, the headline is probably going to be EO versus RHEA or something.
Maybe they do a title versus title match. It'd be IYO versus Stratton or whoever the champions are at that time.
Do you want to know who I've had fighting Stratton?
Who?
So I believe she needs to continue her blonde assault of blonde women and continue this crusade. She's already went through Charlotte. I'm going to ignore Alexa Bliss just because I just thought about her right now. But no, it's not Bliss. I am going with, out of nowhere, Mariah May, who apparently is free.
You.
Okay.
I say you go with old Mariah May, and you go, thank you, Trish.
Oh, you going Legends?
Yeah.
Okay. I also will put, since we're booking the show, Manny, if you want to bring in I'm bringing in the Bella Twins. Nikki and Brie versus Raquel and Liv. And why it's going to be one of the worst tag matches ever. But it does make sense if you want to do a Nikki Bella last match in their back.
Yeah, why not? Why not? That also makes sense. Further scheduling news. AEW are doing a tour of Chicago, which starts on July 16th.
I know the story, Manny. I believe it's not a tour of Chicago. I believe they're not just going to various places in Chicago. Yes. No, it's the same yes.
But I think the last time they did something like this was when they were in Canada for an entire month. Yeah. And ticket sales didn't go so well, but that's because they were booking arenas that were just too big, and and I think the people that were going to these AEW shows would have traveled for these ones in all across Canada. So I think it became a money problem. Whereas I think AEW right now are booking arenas like 3,000 or less, and I think they're doing close to sell out. So I think this will look better. And then obviously was it Aragon Ballroom, named after the guy from Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, I don't know. Let's go with that. He walked in the door. You're King Aragon. Yeah. I think it's going to do well. Chicago is one of the best wrestling cities in the world, if not the best. I think this is when they probably return Jungle Boy. Why not? Because you don't have CM Punk. They're going to chant CM Punk anyway.
Yeah.
So I got Jungle Boy returning on one of these shows and they have an excuse reason why.
I don't necessarily like when they do the same arena over and over again, but I think it works when you do a smaller venue.
Yeah. I've liked all their venues they've been in since they went to smaller venues and they left arenas. I think it gives it I'm going to say something. I don't actually know what it means, but I'm going to say it anyway. A je ne sais quoi about it.
I double down and go with the ambiance.
Yes. Thank you. I was using words. No real definitions, but let's go with it. But I do think it adds something to the show. And I think the venues, when I look around it, I go, oh, this is cool. Instead of the WWE show where every arena looks the same.
Except when NXT go on tour. When NXT is different, I think that because they probably book the same, similar sized arenas like AEW currently are doing, it looks different. It looks better. It is like, okay, it looks different, especially like the last couple ones that they booked, except that one where we both pointed out it looked horrible for the angles they shot when John Moxley came out. Everything else looked perfect.
Yeah, it's hard to shoot Mox who's walking in from outside, which is someone and they walk.
Yeah, but it looked like they were walking into some bare knuckle boxing or something.
Yeah, it didn't look right. But I do again. I prefer. Honestly, you put me in a small, tight venue, similar to the ones TNA or AEW or NXT is going to. I prefer those shows than I prefer a stadium show. Stadium shows are fun, but it's so much space. You're so far away. Even if you have good tickets, you're still really far away.
I mean, I don't like stadium shows unless you're in that first tier where you're kind of on level with the ring.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you've got a good seat. Because the best seats are obviously the front row at that point because you can see everything. And then but then the further away you get from that front row, it's shit in the stadium show.
But Well, you know, I don't think it is, but I think it's more about the feeling of being there more than it is actually there.
I don't get that because I did not get that. I did not get that feeling when I was at AEW at Wembley.
Oh,
I hated every second of it because it's like I paid this much money. I didn't care that it was tag match con and all that stuff. I voiced my opinions about that. I was there. No,
already. You voiced your opinions. You didn't get the Kenny singles match you wanted. You got Kenny in a tag.
And once again, it's still unforgivable. But but I said to you, I wouldn't pay that much money if I have to spend most of my time watching it on the big screen and then seeing and not being able to see anything in that ring. At that point, I should have stayed home and just watched it on TV where I would have had a better experience.
Yeah, but you're in the I believe in the universe of I hate being around people or the minority.
No, the people
hate people. You hate people. You hate people, Manny. And the more people you hate.
I do, but I didn't necessarily have a problem when I was there with people. Except the guy that was next to me, that every time he took 2 beers, put one down, knocked one over, then he'd go back out and bring back another 2 beers, knock that off the same one over.
Those guys.
Yeah.
Those are the guys I don't get.
That was a problem. I found that to be a problem. That guy was an idiot. The show being there, it was good. I enjoyed the show. But the fact is that I spent more time watching the show without commentary on the big screen, which started to bother me.
Yeah. Well, it makes sense. It makes sense. Again, like you, I prefer a more intimate setting anyway. I like how loud it gets. Yeah. Like being at WrestleMania, I'm going to use this as an example. Steve Austin, loud ass pop. Great. That is the one pop that really shook the fucking building. Everything else was kind of like, oh, that's nice. Even Dom, who got the good big second curtain call, whatever, people cheered him, whatnot, and people were happy. But it still didn't get the levels of like if you were in a smaller arena where it's like, damn, this is fucking loud.
Yeah,
I never get that at the stadium. It airs out too much.
I went to I think it was an NXT UK show, but it may have been an NXT show. It was a combination of both because Adam Cole and the Undisputed Era were there. That was at the Royal Albert Hall, which was a really good venue to have that, and I think that's like a historic UK historic UK venue for wrestling. It's a historic building in general, but it was a historic. I think WWE ran a few shows back in the day there. That place has this acoustic setup, so you can hear fucking everything. But when I watched it there, it was really enjoyable. I think I'm with you. I think smaller intimate venues are better.
Yeah. I don't even know how we got on this subject, but we're talking about AEW in Chicago. Good luck to him in the residency.
Yeah. And then the final scheduling news is John Cena's last match will take place in Boston, Massachusetts at the Garden at Saturday night main event.
Really?
Yeah.
Are they 100% sure?
It's scheduled to be Saturday night main event, but they could bring in a December pay-per-view.
I feel like that's an odd place to do it. I would rather do it at a pay-per-view with no commercial breaks because we're gonna get a bunch of commercial breaks.
Yeah, I don't necessarily like. I don't like when Saturday night main event's on. There's more commercial breaks than there are on SmackDown, and I only noticed the commercial breaks on SmackDown more because they put up the Toot the Sweet.
Yeah.
On the feed I watch, and it's but it's not that many. But when they show Saturday main event, there is so many.
Yeah, and then it's such a hard edit because it's on national TV, and there's just a lot of problems with it. And Saturday main event to me is just battle at the belts. It's the same kind of concept in which nothing actually truly happens. I mean, Jay is going to fight. They announced this week on Raw. Jay's fighting Logan Paul Saturday main event, and I'm like, that's just going to be there. Jay ain't losing.
I was saying this to Wes on the watch along at the beginning. This card that we got on Backlash felt like they were just trying to lead to something bigger. And it felt like they were just trying to lead into trying to make Saturday main event seem bigger.
Maybe because it's on national TV. Maybe they're going after the sponsors. I know NBC got a lot of momentum in news. They're bringing Michael Jordan back to contribute to the NBA when they bring that back, which better be fucking good. But I honestly think at the end of the day, it's just going to end up canceling Michael Jordan. He's going to say something. He's going to say a homophobic slur, maybe a racial slur, maybe something that's not in the curtain. Because the guy's not much of a public speaker anyway. He doesn't speak in the public. I feel like he's going to say, oh, he's a soft, beep, 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 beep. And people are like, oh, shit, we need to get Mike on TV.
I think that's about it for news.
Yeah, I mean, is Sabu covered in the news, or do you want to cover it later?
Maybe we cover it later. I mean, we're 15 minutes in now. We'll cover it at the end.
We'll cover it after Raw. We'll run through Raw. Raw happened 2.5 hours into the show. Now let's talk about that.
Nothing happened. It was so frustrating watching this show.
They are going with little by little, less is more. I think it's their approach, but not really, because they're not really giving you much. There's not momentum in any storyline going on currently in Monday Night Raw, other than, well, he's not even a part of Monday Night Raw. There is no momentum going on Monday Night Raw.
Nothing's happened on Raw. Punk came out. He said he was mostly pissed off at himself because this isn't the first time Paul Heyman stabbed him in the back, but he thought they moved past that. But Paul is a fat little snake. He's mad at Teemu CM Punk, aka Seth Rollins. Paul Heyman comes out, gets called a penguin. Seth and Bron Breakker follow after Punk warns him to choose his words carefully, as they will be his last. Seth says Punk is the reason. Yeah, go on.
He didn't call him a penguin. He calls him the penguin, just to get just to clarify. He's not making fun of the people with Morgan Freeman that were marching for their rights or whatever they were doing it for. He was doing it to in the name of Batman. In the name of Batman.
Which penguin would you want to be called? Which penguin would you?
Oh, come on! I guess you know what. The one that I saw eating fish.
The one that I saw eating fish. I think Batman Returns. I don't ever want to be called that one.
I don't want to be Danny DeVito. I'm biting noses and shit. I'm extremely horny. He's the horniest Batman villain ever. completely needs to be a part of the Me Too movement when he was running for mayor. Ridiculous. With that being said, I think he can do more for the country than Donald Trump. Anyway,
Marcus, stop making Donald Trump jokes because I won't be allowed back in the country.
Manny, just tell him you're white. You're ambiguous.
They won't believe me.
You wear sunglasses.
You have a surname.
You wear sunglasses and say you've watched every episode of Friends.
Marcus, when you go through New York, that doesn't work.
Ah, damn it. I don't know how to pretend to be white, Manny. I'm too damn dark. Shit. Let me put Haley Steinfeld on the phone with you to get through this. How you get through this? What were we talking? Oh, if I were a penguin, it'd have to be the 1960s penguin. I don't know his actual name, but the one with the hat and the straight. He seemed the least craziest and more stable. I couldn't be Colin Farrell's penguin. Just seemed like he smells a lot.
No one said you had to be him.
You said it. You said pick which one would you rather be.
Which one would you not want to be called or compared to?
Oh, it's Danny DeVito then, yeah.
Seth says Punk is the reason he isn't champion and that Punk loves to play the victim and says Breakker to take out Punk. Punk suffers at the numbers game until Sami Zayn and Jey Uso come out to make the save.
Yeah, Jay makes the save. The babyfaces had 302 with a chair. Paul does not count as a third person, by the way. But they seem to overdid it for this group.
And then Sami later on in the night is trying to convince Punk that they need to do it at Saturday Night's main event. They need to team up. Punk has his reservations because he can't trust people these days. Seth Rollins tells Bron Breakker to take out Jey Uso later on in the night, which he does.
Mm-hmm. You think Sami's turning?
I think so.
I mean, he's doing these longing looks. He ain't got much momentum doing anything anyway right now.
I think he's boring as a character right now.
Yeah, he ain't doing nothing.
It's not even that he's not doing anything. His character does the same thing all the time. He comes close, he whines, blah blah blah. I think he needs to become a heel again. I think he just needs to.
But if he joins that faction, what kind of is he? Is he just the JD McDonough of that group, and he's going to be taking the pins?
I don't think he needs to be. I don't think he needs to join that group. I think he just needs to be like, fuck this shit, fuck Punk. He needs another story or something like that.
So you're put a bit of feud with CM Punk. I need CM Punk to transition to something else, to go after John Cena. He seems very far away from John Cena right now. Very far away.
Yeah, and I would like to see the whole reversal of Money in the Bank.
Are they going to do it in Boston?
No.
Why not? Because that would be the reverse. Because he did his in Chicago.
Yeah, but if
Money in the Bank's in LA, they're not going to do it at Money in the Bank. It's too late.
If the last match is in Boston and it's on Saturday night's main event, wouldn't it just be perfect if John Cena just won the match and then just left through the crowd, taking the title with him, and it's like, okay, now the title now lives in my fridge.
It would be nice. I would just do the same storyline in reverse, and then he has to come back for one more match, or someone cashes in Money in the Bank before he gets out. But we'll see where it goes. I don't even know who's going to win Money in the Bank. We're about a month away from that, and I don't have any clue who's winning. Because if Braun Breaker did this fashion with Seth would win before he would win. And I just don't really know who we got out there these days.
Well, Braun Breaker beating John Cena could be the thing that skyrockets Braun Breaker.
Could be. But it could be Braun Breaker versus John Cena at some point. But I don't know. We're nowhere near that, though.
Well, the first match of the night was Penta versus Chad Gable. I noticed a few things during this, Marcus.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're doing it for everyone, but they're announcing Penta's weight in kilos, not pounds.
No, I didn't notice.
Whoever announced him to the ring was like, he's 87 kilos.
I guess maybe where you're from, I'm assuming Mexico does kilos. I don't know what they actually do.
And then the thing that I found mad disrespectful, and it gets as many strikes as he punted in his NFL career. How dare Pat McAfee have an entrance, an actual entrance music before this match started? Both competitors were in the ring. Yeah. And then all you hear is, let's go. And then he comes out.
Delaying it.
Delaying the beginning of this match.
And I don't understand what that actually did for anybody, to be honest. Like, Pat got his ass whooped at Backlash by Gunther, which I guess we should have covered a little bit of Backlash, our thoughts of that, but we'll do that later. Who cares? But you'd think he would have just started the show and been beat up. I don't know why he needed this grand entrance to come out. It's not like the people in the crowd get to hear him, even though they did chant his name and they were happy and all that. And he showed all his bruises and how beaten up he was. And he's going to do the show with his busted blood vessels and all that. I just think it was disrespectful, like you said, to come out in between or right before the match started.
Yeah. Penta wins with the Mexican Destroyer, which they tried to claim was off the top rope. It was not off the top rope. He landed and then did the flip.
Yeah.
That had nothing to do with the move that he was actually about to do.
No, but it created the momentum. I guess.
No, it didn't.
I know. He barely got over. I will give this a plus, but also a strike, which negate the whole thing for Canadian Destroyer finishing a match, which it should always do. It's the best move ever. And it's ridiculous that it's just a move.
This is Adam Cole's move, isn't it? This is the Panama Sunrise.
Yes. But no, his finisher is the Shiny Wizard, the knee.
Yeah, but this is Adam Cole. This is Adam Cole's signature.
By the way, I believe he's the current TNT champion, huh?
Yeah.
That title's dead. And then I give it a strike, Manny. I'm giving it a strike for, you know what? I like Chad Gable enough that I like El Grande Americano more.
Have they released that shirt
yet? What?
El Grande Americano numero uno.
They may have. I don't know. I haven't looked on this shop in a long time. But I do. I was like, oh, what is he doing to Mexico? It's El Grande Americano night. But I also believe Chad Gable will be better off going to, and El Grande Americano will be better off in AEW.
Yeah.
Like, I believe he has a personality and everything, but I believe WWE is never going to give this man the credit he deserves. He's one of the best on the roster all around, period, with personality and in-ring. But I don't think he's ever getting off this spot.
Not even just it. I think his in-ring is just so good that they're not doing anything with him, and that's sad.
Yeah. You know, you can argue and say he's the best homegrown in-ring talent they've ever had.
Kurt Angle?
I mean, I'm talking about from the NXT era. I'm not talking about the past. I'm talking about the NXT era. Sorry. Let me clarify. From the NXT era.
I don't know. I think when you say homegrown, you've got the likes of Bianca Belair in that argument too.
Yeah, but Chad's better than Bianca.
Yeah, but charisma, Marcus, charisma.
I think they're about equal.
Who else? There are others.
There are others, but I don't think no one's on the level of Chad Gable. I think he's that good, where he can go with anybody on the roster. Like Rhea would have slip, like or not Rhea. Bianca, if she were to wrestle, let me think. Who's the bottom of the total pole? Let's go with Big Cat Nikita Lyons.
Oh, Jesus.
Not expecting much. I'm not expecting much. But if Chad Gable were to wrestle Nikita Lyons, I think he could have a classic. I'm just saying.
Why are you expecting anything from Nikita Lyons?
She's only involved, Manny. I'm about giving people chances. I'm about giving chances.
Yeah, I'm about taking them away from people.
Don't take this away, Manny. We need more black women on television. She's the closest thing we can get at this point.
No, because
she's all the blackness Soul Roka is missing.
Black Armstrong is coming, because Black Armstrong is coming.
And Callie
Armstrong.
Yes. All right. Moving on to the second match of the night, I guess.
No. The Judgment Day tried to teach Dom about time zones.
Oh, yes.
And Dom wanted to talk about how Finn nearly cost him the match against Penta at Backlash. But the fact that they had to bring out a skull and then something else to go, this goes around the sun.
Yeah. The skull represented the earth, and the lamp or the light bulb represented the sun. And they were doing a science experiment. So Dom understood time zone, which I thought was a classic move. Well, if he really wanted to understand time zones, Manny, he'd look into our show where we do it from 2 different time zones. Manny is going to nights. I am just beginning the day or some in the mid-afternoon.
Yeah, but if you look out my window, you couldn't necessarily tell it was the nighttime.
No, if you look out my window, you couldn't actually tell it's daytime. I mean, you see the sun, but you know, it exists.
But yeah, so I thought that segment was funny. The War Raiders take on the Creed boys. Michael accuses the New Day of ducking the War Raiders again, and then says
and cheating.
But then they say they beat them at WrestleMania, and then he was like, by cheating. And then the New Day said, "You're one to talk."
Whose leg were you grabbing in the middle of that match right with McAfee? What were you doing? I mean, the audacity.
Yeah, Michael Cole is too biased. I think Michael Cole should have been punished that day.
So I'm going to ask the question: do you think this this New Day turn has been a complete waste because we haven't really did anything with it? Like they get no mic time, they barely get commentary. I mean, they do commentary for matches, but they're not really doing anything that would be like, this is a heel turn. And can we say this may be an MO of Triple H of turning people heel and not knowing what to do with them after he does it?
Yeah, I think they lost all steam anyway, because like, do you remember when they just did what they did to Big E?
Yeah.
And they had a couple segments where they would just get booed out of the building.
Yeah. And then they appeared on Netflix.
And then they didn't necessarily do anything from that. It took a few more weeks before they said anything.
Yeah.
And I think they lost all steam because of that. And then whatever's going on with Big E, it doesn't make sense. It naturally does not make any sense to do what they did. And it is a complete waste because like them winning the titles off the War Raiders, whoop do you do?
Yeah. It's their weak tag division that hurt the New Day. And that the tag divisions are splintered into two shows of SmackDown and Raw when it should just be like NXT Universal and just go everywhere.
Well,
like they had it.
Join Raw because I think Raw needed it more.
Yeah.
Even though
it's just Creed War Raiders and New Day.
Yeah, the Raw needed it more. And yes, the people in the SmackDown's tag division are kind of boring outside of the Street Profits.
Yep.
But
I think we're supposed to get New Day Street Profits.
Yeah, the injection should have been Fraction onto Raw.
Yeah, I just think we merge it all together and we have a solid tag division. We have a solid tag division. We put it all together. And I think the feud should have been New Day versus Street Profits.
Yeah. So the New Day is Sister Creeds for the win. Jey Uso says it's him and Logan at Saturday Night's main event because Logan keeps doing sneak attacks and all this other nonsense. Gunther comes out, says says Jey is not fit to be champion. And the winner between him and Logan has the honor to hand over the title back to him.
So my question is, Gunther wins? Whenever they fight, if he fights Jey again?
Yeah, does Jey need to be that long time champion? No.
It's a feel-good moment, and then you know what? Go join Jimmy and 3-4 and the Usos and be a tag wrestler again. Save the division.
Yeah, I think the division needs saving, to be fair. Finn Balor takes on AJ Styles. It was a decent match with various interference.
Yeah, all types of interference in the match. It was a good match though, overall. AJ wins with the phenomenal form because the Styles Clash wasn't good enough. When he hit it, I went, oh, it was so quick and sudden. And I thought that would have been it, but nope. We did it with the phenomenal forearm, and it was solid. And I guess the Ascension and Judgment Day continues because Dom wasn't at ringside.
Mm-hmm. And then Becky Lynch cuts a John Cena promo as she believes the fans have manipulated her.
Yeah, I am whatever you say I am. I beat up that bird.
And she was quoting Eminem.
Yeah. For those who don't know, the kids who may watch this show, anybody under the age of 30, Eminem was a very popular rapper back in the day.
What was the song?
I Am. But I think it meant. Oh no, it's The Way I Am. The Way I Am is the name of the song. Yeah. But I thought Becky's promo was hateful. I thought it had a lot of energy to it. I still think she's going to get cheered over Lyra. I think that there's nothing there. Lyra's just a bird. Talented. They have one of the best matches at Backlash, but she's just a bird, man. She's just a bird.
And again, it's not fair because I think it's just the accent of the delivery of what she's saying.
What, of Lyra?
Yeah, I
don't think so.
I think it's the delivery. I definitely think it's the delivery. I think hopefully she will get better.
I think she got to stop being a bird.
No, because if you take away a bird, she's got nothing.
Yeah, she got to come up with something, man. She can't just be coming off those wings. I'm thinking of Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I'm thinking of the Eagles. I'm thinking of the movie The Birds. I'm thinking of everything but what she's doing. I'm thinking of the Muppets. And I don't even know why I'm thinking of the Muppets. I can't even think. I'm thinking of Toucan Sam. Follow your nose. Wherever it goes. Like everything comes to mind. I'm thinking of, is it Nelly Furtado? I'm like a bird. I want to fly away. I'm thinking of Nelly Furtado. I think of everything but Lyra when she comes out because of the stupid bird thing. I didn't even appreciate the bird when it was Valentina Ferrus, when she was the bird lady in NXT. Birds don't get over. They have never got over.
Julia and Roxanne Perez take on Io Sky and Rhea Ripley. It happened.
Main event. Really good main event.
Online, Julia walked out by Roxanne.
She was what?
Online, after the match, Julia had enough of Roxanne and abandoned her because Roxanne was looking for a rematch.
Well, Julia got upset when Roxanne, I think, jumped on her, or vice versa. I forgot she got pushed into her and didn't realize it. Maybe when she goes back and watches the tape, she'll realize this is the right reason. I thought they made a good team. I don't think they should break them up.
It's too early to break them up.
Yeah, but it seems like they might. They
should leave them together to replace the KC Express because that tag, the tag division, the women's tag division is officially dead.
Oh yeah, that's a shambles. It's only Liv and Raquel, and they're able to take months off so Liv can shoot a movie. So
no, apparently Liv is back next week.
Must be dying early in the movie, huh, Liv? Or they're gonna cut all your scenes up.
Harsh.
It's true, you know. If you're not in a movie for 8 weeks, you ain't in a movie that long. How long was MJF gone for Happy Gilmore 2? Oh wow! But do I think he's in that movie that much? Probably not.
Yeah, but what about Seth Rollins? His role was cut out completely.
I want to see the Seth cut. Let me see what's going on with that. What was going on in that movie that they were like, let's start over.
The law, like,
or the outfits. Maybe he come out to a ridiculous of an outfit. But I thought it was a solid main event. It was okay Raw. Nothing too much happened. There was no drama. As I was telling Manny earlier, other than John Cena's trying to ruin wrestling, there isn't a major storyline going on in wrestling in WWE right now. There isn't really. No. There's no nothing you want to sink your teeth in. Like Seth and Braun and Heyman got together, but it's not much juice behind this to me. It seems like they're almost doing like a half-ass bloodline gimmick, but not really. I don't even know what it is. I don't know what they are. Heyman's the best part of the group.
Yeah. So yeah, there's not much going on in WWE. I think they need to reset, and I think the problem is that they've had they've had a pay-per-view so close to WrestleMania, and then they're doubling down with Saturday Night's main event. I think they've had no chance to build anything.
Also true, yeah. Time. I mean, they're exerting themselves. Less is more. Just give us, some shows here and there. John Cena only has like 20 days left. Let's get it together.
Has anyone actually gone and done the math on that?
I'm waiting for Meltzer to do it, but I doubt he's going to have it accurate. They're waiting for the Wall Street Journal. Where am I? What show is it? Real quick, what were your thoughts on Backlash? Backlash.
I mean, it was okay. I mean, it felt like a B card, like a B list card. Like they weren't putting much effort into it, and it felt like that. There was a few good matches. I said this to you earlier. Like it was like a 2-week build, but like even with a 2-week build on AEW, at least you get something on that pay-per-view. Yeah. At least you walk out like, oh yeah, those were like all the matches were good. There was good wrestling. Yeah.
Young Bucks versus, Gates of Agony was a classic. I'm not being like facetious about that. I'd be like, that'd be a hell of a match. And you'd be like, oh damn.
Every match just seemed like, oh, we're kind of just here because we need to put other things outside of Randy and Cena.
The main event, I thought the show was all right. Like you said, it was just there. It felt like a house show more than anything else. Yeah. They debuted Jeff Cobb, who I didn't realize was shorter than LA Knight. I didn't realize he was that much smaller. Like, I know he wasn't the biggest guy, but I always thought he was like, maybe LA Knight type, maybe Carmelo type, but I think he's shorter than both of them.
Yeah, and also the pubic beard did not do him any favors.
Mm-hmm. Got a nice reaction from the crowd where their gasp would go, oh, and then they kind of panned out. They were like, oh, he's really short now.
No, because the reaction from most other people were, who the hell is Jeff Cobb?
Yeah. The crowd reacted, though. They went, oh, as if they knew what was going on, but I'm sure they thought it was one of the Anoa'i.
Yeah, but how bad are the Hikuleo and the other one? if they bring in Jeff Cobb before these two bums.
Well, Jeff Cobb has more wrestling in-ring experience and is the better wrestler than all of Jeff Cobb.
40.
Everybody in WWE is like 40, Manny. 40's prime.
Yeah, 40's prime, but then you ain't got no future.
No. NXT is the future. That's what all he said. Like, bringing these old dogs in. Well, when they bring in Mariah May, who just seems to be set on leaving, just 100% set on leaving, and 100% set on believing going to WWE. She's in her 20s, so there you go. But the men are old.
I think she comes with her own set of problems. To be fair, from what I've heard.
I heard she's a bit of a mess, but so are a lot of people. On Raw, you cut out the Rusev promo where she said he doesn't want to do this.
Yeah, it will hurt him to hurt
he would rather stay home and collect all his millions of dollars. I don't know. There's something missing in the promos with the delivery. Like the energy isn't there. I don't know what it is.
It's not the same as the Redeemer energy.
No,
it's just not.
Redeemer believed everything he was saying. I don't feel like this version of Rusev believed everything he's saying.
Well, this is a tired out Rusev. This is I've got PTSD. I went to hell. I've come back.
What was the last thing I was gonna say? I do enjoy. I don't think anybody else is enjoying seeing those matches in this last run. I'm enjoying this old school type of wrestling. I wish we had more matches like this. I'll be honest. Call me a mark or a WWE fanboy or subjective bias. I enjoy those old school matches of body slams, axe handles, and slow punches and lazy ref bumps and shit.
Only because you find them funny.
I find them funny, but I also enjoy it. I enjoy it. I don't know why. It feels more authentic than seeing people running at 100 miles per hour. This isn't about
collective yeah boo.
Yep.
On Backlash.
You got 2.5. This is awesome chats. We got tables, everything. They threw it all out there. They tried. They're in their 50s. Well, Randy's 45. I think Cena's 40, like 50 or something. Whatever. But they're old. They're old men. Huh?
Cena's 48.
Yeah, Randy's like 45. They old. They up there. But yeah, that was for your thought. Now let's talk about Sabu.
Yes. I don't actually know all the details about the nonsense that's following his death with GCW and Joey Janela, but it is sad. It is sad that he's passed away. Not that I watched a lot of ECW growing up, but like you knew of Sabu, like of all the wrestling clips that would go around.
Always Sabu.
It was the craziest shit that Sabu was doing.
Sabu embarked everything that he, like when you say describe a wrestler, like on LFG, they always like describe yourself or who you are, come up with an identity. Sabu had an identity. You see a man with the scars all over his back, and you're saying this man is homicidal, genocidal, suicidal. And then you see him wrestle one time, you go, shit, he is. He's jumping off chairs into barbed wire, through tables, and like it's just craziness. Like he's innovated so many different spots that I don't believe anybody can do anymore out of fear of concussions. But it was just like, it was insane. Watch this guy. He was a wrestler who was 100% believable in his character. And it was just like, oh, he's cool. And my favorite thing about Sabu is his autobiography, where he spent the last page, instead of thanking people, fuck everybody. It's his last page of his book. It's one of the best reads ever. Fuck this person, fuck that person. And reasons why. With receipts. With receipts. I love the pettiness.
Yeah, and then there was just like controversy, like for Sabu's last match, which occurred at WrestleMania weekend on at GCW, where
it was at 11 p.m. at night. I was too tired to go.
Yeah, and he was like, apparently he couldn't walk before the match. He's in bad shape, and then I don't know if it contributed to his death, but it could. If the man's in bad shape, he should not be wrestling. He should not be wrestling.
No, he's 60 years old. All these wrestlers wrestling at 60 should not be in the ring. And it's not doing the stuff that Sabu was even trying to attempt to do in this match, jumping through barbed wire, taking chair shots, and all types of stuff, diving out to the ring and stuff. None of this should have been attempted. I don't think, did it attribute to his death? I don't know. They said he needed creatine because he couldn't move before the show. He arrived 2 hours before the show and stuff. So you don't even know all the information. It just seems like he was in rough shape and they shouldn't have done the match. But that's hindsight 2020. It's easy to judge people. This is the reason why someone died, but the reason Sabu died is Sabu. It's the lifestyle he lived, and you know what? He was 60 years old. He lived a very difficult and insane lifestyle to his body and heart and everything. He had other health issues as well, so it sucks to see him go. But you know, at least he got to go out technically on his own terms and happy doing what he loved to do, I guess.
That's true. But then also, like, I feel like this should probably go out to wrestlers. Don't stay too long. That your what's the word? Your
lose value.
Your life outside of wrestling, like, is that you're in constant pain, like,
yeah,
you constantly you need to get out as early, like, once you start hearing those whispers of you can't do it anymore, he shouldn't be in the ring anymore, that's when you need to go.
I think every wrestler should be done by 40. I know 40 people they're still going right now. Like Finn Balor is still fine, and AJ is still out there, and Cena and Orton did a good job in their 40s. But I think it's treated like a real sport. Like by 40, most people are out. Most people are out, unless you're Tom Brady.
I think there is a good majority that do call it a day, but I feel there's a few that, like, slightly bigger name, they stick around too long. They still get the itch because they need the pop. That's all they got. They probably haven't invested their money well, so they're doing all this shit. Don't get out while you can. If you've got a big name, you can do WrestleCon and all those cons and make your money there. Save your body. Save your body.
Yeah, and but Sabu's from a different era. He's basically the quote unquote attitude era, a little bit before the ECW era. Wrestlers weren't making anything in those days. It was hard to save your money, especially because everybody was on drugs and the chaos that was going on the road the lifestyle you lived. And, we basically had no choice but to do self-medicate and stuff like that. So he's from a different era. Like, I think the wrestlers of today are in better situations. You really don't have to wrestle until you're that old to try to make a buck or go to all these conventions and stuff. Excuse me. So, it's just where you're at. It's just, there was a different time. And I would like to see most of these wrestlers taken care of. Again, they do need a union. They need benefits for their post-career so they can deal with a lot of these health issues, because these people, to a lot of people, are their heroes. Like, I know, to me, I enjoy watching them over the years, and I hate hearing about, like, oh, yeah, they suffered for the total end of their life. Like, I hate seeing Mick Foley now, who's one of my all-time favorites. I know whatever you think about him, but he's so beat up and in pain. You don't want to see that. I even think about Darby Allin at this point. Like, how beat up are you going to be if I even live to see your end or whatever?
I think he's going to die before us. That's the problem.
Yeah. It's just he's going to be so beat up and so, like, it's like, oh.
Because he's in his 30s or something like that?
He might be 30. I think he's out of his 20s already. He's probably 30.
The way he throws his body around like he's invincible, it's going to catch up to you.
30s hit. The 30s and 40s are going to hit.
I don't even wrestle, but me going up and down the stairs today, my knees hurt, my hips hurt.
Yeah. There are just days when you're like, damn, I can't get out of bed. If I were to play basketball, it feels like I'm dying. I was listening to LeBron James, and he was talking about being an old man and playing basketball and whatnot. And, he's like, and Steve Nash actually, how do you do this? He's like, some days are worse than others. But he is beat up. There's some days when he plays a game and he tries to get out of bed and he just can't do it. And he had to shut himself down. He's like, I just can't do anything. My knees are like, everything hurts. Like, Father Time is undefeated, and you shouldn't be out there trying to beat it all the time. Like, try to, save your money. Every now and then it's fine. Like, you know, when Trish Stratus comes in, once every now and then she does a match, not much stringers to her body. She goes out and just does it. It's done. Those are fine. But when you're out there trying to do barbed wire matches and real matches and shit, like Ric Flair or Sabu or fucking Sting out there scared the shit out of everybody every time he wrestles. Like, this could be it.
Yeah.
You don't want that. Jeff Hardy out there risks his life. But you know, so that's it for me today. I got that though. So NXT today.
There is LFG.
Oh yes. Let's talk about it.
I mean, it's very predictable. LFG was very predictable who was going to end up in this Madison Square Garden final.
You didn't think it was going to be BJ Ray by any chance?
No, I don't even think BJ Ray should be even in the final 8.
No. Would you agree that Cutler was the better wrestler by far?
I agree that Bubba should bring back BJ Ray because WWE is all about characters, it's all about entertainment. I agree with that. But on this show, this guy has barely wrestled. He'd done nothing because he was injured. All he is his mouth, and his mouth isn't even that good.
No. Jeff Troy ate him alive this week.
This Orange County, what's it? Orange County Gangster? I don't see nothing.
West Coast Gang. Like, I'm like, what? It's a bad gimmick. I told you this before the show. He just reminds me of Grayson Waller, just American and worse at his job.
No, I'll do you one better. He's worse than B-Rad from Malibu's Most Wanted.
I was thinking.
Remember that movie?
Yes, Manny, I remember that. It's burning your mind. It's burning everybody's mind.
He's worse than that. He should have not made it into that section. I don't know who. I mean, the Bayou Boy.
Personality.
The Bayou Boy should have been in that in that match with just Jasper Troy.
Yeah, but you know what? Personality. I think Troy Underwood, who is probably the best athlete they've ever had in the NFL, because it's ridiculous how athletic he was, had a better upside than than BJ Ray. But we all do Xena and
Tyra May Steele.
Tyra May Steele are probably going to be the finals, but you know it is predictable. Who you got winning?
Xena's going to win for the women.
I just don't white blonde.
Yeah, that, and then the fact that I don't know if it's just editing, but I don't think they've done Tyra May Steele as good a service. I think Undertaker, you should be if you're booking her to be dominant, you need her to be like Chad Gable. You need to be like Kurt. You need her to be like Ronda Rousey, but dominant in the ring, dominant out wrestling people. Mm-hmm. Take it to the ground. You mat wrestle the hell out of them. You're clinically better than everyone in that ring you step in with.
Yeah, I think there should have been a trade. I think Jasper Troy should have been with Undertaker, and I think Tyra May should have been with Booker T. I think he would have got more out of her. Yeah,
I think that's a fair comment, and I feel like Tyra May Steele probably needs more time. Maybe spend time on Evolve before she goes to NXT.
Yeah, because when she cut her promo, she was like, "Oh, but hell, I do what the fuck I want to do," or whatever. At the end, I was like, "Oh, that's personality I need. Where's this been?" And the match, you kind of don't get all that. In the match, you don't get this.
Thing is, the match is a lot more posturing. In her match. When realistically, you should stay on them if you're the grappler, the wrestler.
Yeah, I think she should work with exclusively Chad Gable and Kurt Angle or whoever the other Olympians are, because I think there is potential there, but I think they would know how to speak to her more and translate it more than The Undertaker.
I think she should be working with people that actually been successes that have amateur wrestling background, like even the Creeds. They haven't got it yet, but they have wrestling backgrounds, and she should be working with those types of people to get as much out of her. Because realistically, her personality is happy-go-lucky girl. When she's trying to be a badass, it ain't coming across.
Yeah. Again, Chad Gable is the perfect person for that because he knows how to do. I mean, he doesn't come off as a badass, even though he is. He's more, but you can take him serious and as a personality as well.
Yeah. And then as for the men, Jasper Troy, and Shiloh.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was pretty obvious they were the guys. I didn't see
Shiloh,
anyone
I
else.
do.
I didn't see anyone else. I was like, they could have picked the other guy that I find irritating.
Which one is this? Not Andrew Luck, but Chris Island, or what's the other one name? What's his name? Not Andrew Luck. Not Andrew Luck. What's his name? Because Andrew Luck is the football player.
It was Showtime something.
Yeah, whatever. He was
also on Booker's team. It was the fact it was them two arguing last week. Where were you? I was like, with my child. She was dying in the hospital. And you can't come back from that. Like, you should have been here. I'm like, well, fuck you.
Yeah. Well, as I said before, Booker T would be my coach.
Booker T is the right coach. I don't think Bubba is a good coach. I think Mickey is a good mothering coach, but she's not going to get you to the promised land.
Mickey's the good cop. After you deal with let's say someone like Bubba who's yelling at you, or even Booker if he's frustrated with you, you go to Mickey and be like, what am I doing? She's like, oh baby, it ain't that bad, or something like that.
Yeah, but I don't think you're gonna get that out of Michelle McCool in season 2.
She's gonna be a bitch.
Michelle McCool, I don't think is even a good trainer. So I don't see
what she'll be natty.
What were you gonna learn from Michelle McCool?
It needed to be natty.
How to fuck the Undertaker?
How to get in the Hall of Fame?
Barely with a career that no one really remembers.
Yeah, I believe Michelle McCool had talent, but I don't believe she's as good as someone like Natty, even Mickey. And the list goes on and on. Manny, I'm going to ask you something about Evolution.
Go on.
WWE may bring in, some AAA people. They may bring in some TNA people for this show as well. Or even, they may bring in some Japanese women from Marigold, Gold, or whatever. Who knows what they're bringing?
They're not.
I know, man. I know. I'm just saying. Do you bring Tessa Blanchard in? And do you have her fight Charlotte Flair? A Flair versus a Blanchard?
Just fucking do it. Just do it. Just do it.
Two of the most hateable people in wrestling collide.
Why not? Charlotte ain't racist. Actually, no, Marcus, team them up. Team them up and put them into 2 black women. There we go.
Ooh, there you go. That's booking.
Marcus, and then it'd be as hateful as Yetis. Where you could taste the racism. It was like, mwah!
Who's your black women?
Bianca Belair.
And
no, you can't go.
It's gonna be hard to with Naomi or Jade.
Lash legend.
Exactly. God damn it. You go with Lash, who's just kind of floundering in the world now because Metaphor's dead.
You know, Jakara Jackson's got a YouTube channel, which I found by accident yesterday.
I saw an Instagram clip of her talking, and she had her glasses on. She was talking serious, and I was like, "You'll be back, Jakara." No, Manny, it's obvious who the 2 black women will be, and it's 2 black women who could take a job. Mia Yim and B-Fab. It's easier that way.
I don't want Mia Yim though. Because you would think the half that I would, the other half of her I'd cheer on, but no, I don't. I'm embarrassed about Mia Yim.
Why are you embarrassed about Mia Yim? He's a good hand in mid-card act.
Actually, Bianca Belair and Big Cat Keto.
Fuck that. I'm going to run up here. Fuck it. Bianca's out. Big Cat Keita and Soroka.
Book it.
Yeah, refereed by Hulk Hogan.
I don't want this I want this in a smoky hall.
I want it in the woods. I want people wearing a Carry Across t-shirt saying "String them up."
You have to buy that shirt, by the way.
I'm not.
You have to buy that shirt. You've been championing this man for months.
He's already making his money. He's the number one selling merchandise.
You have championed this guy for months. You need to buy that shirt. I don't think he should be number 3, but he would be a good guy to take pins.
He'd be a good candidate to be number 3, but I think they're done with Theory. I think Theory needs to go away.
I think we've said all we need to say a couple of weeks ago about Theory was he needs to leave for a few months and then go to NXT to wipe the stink of the main roster away from him, because there is something there. There is something there, but they're not channeling it because he's paired with Grayson Waller and he's just a bumbling fool.
Just stuck with Waller. He's been stuck. I thought this would have been a good team. When they teamed up originally, I thought, this could be a good team up. They could be like a modern Hollywood Blondes or whatnot. It could be a jumping point for both of them. Maybe Theory goes face and people would cheer him in. No, they did nothing with this group, these two guys. And they're both worse on being. They've been worse together than they ever were apart. Hell, add Lexus King to their group. Fuck it.
Please don't. So that is today's show. Unless anyone, there is no one in the chat outside of JLG, and I don't think he's got any other questions in the next 2 seconds.
And you guys don't worry about it. We knew nobody was gonna be on today's show. Nothing happened on Raw last night. Nothing happened.
But if you made it this far, type pancakes. Type pancakes in the comment section. Yeah.
All right, now all the children are the best. Time to talk to Diddy Trial. I'm just kidding. If I want to hear people talk about penis, I'll listen to this show.
Which we haven't actually done today.
Penis. I made up for it. Jimmy's here as well.
Just tired.
Yeah. Me too.
I'm exhausted too.
Let's wrap it up, Manny.
Yeah, so join us again this Thursday for the Untitled Manny Marcus show, where we watch AEW, because I didn't watch it properly last week, and then we also review NXT that's on tonight.
I will also like to add, how dare they return Elias back next week or Elijah?
For no reason.
I was not expecting him in that battle royal at all. I was chilling, and next thing you know, you hear that strum, and you go, "What the fuck?" Like, year am I in? Like, my brain almost broke for some reason.
We'll be back next week. We'll be back on Thursday. So like the video, subscribe if you haven't. We out. Peace. Why did you use this image? You didn't think to use the image of the point?
Nah, I thought, him just walking out. I don't know. I just grabbed the first image. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't.
Oh, and
I sound like an asshole, Manny. I didn't do too much. I put Sabu in the Google search. It's the first image that came up, and I was like, there you go.
And on Saturday, before the watch along, I watched Hook. It was on TV. I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch this. I got nothing.
Classic. It's a great movie. Run home, Jack. Run home.
Nothing better to do.
Hook is a good show. It's a good movie. I hate it, but it's a good movie. I think I hate it. I don't know. I remember not understanding as a kid, going like, why is Peter Pan old and hating it?
Because he grew up.
I know that, Manny. I understand the concept, but I was like, I want real Peter Pan. I don't want this old man.
Said young Marcus.
And then I got older and watched it, and I was like, yeah, it makes sense.
I get it.
I get it. I still haven't got, I don't think, a good live action Peter Pan movie though.
But you need one.
Shut up. I thought I needed one as a kid. I still think I need one. Damn it.
Why do you need one?
Peter Pan was a top 10 childhood hero of mine, along with Mighty Mouse and Popeye the Sailor.
You got terrible idols.
Fuck you, Manny. These are top 10 idols. They didn't pan out to modern day. He-Man was in there.
You're a terrible
top 10. My childhood top 10 is dope.
So stay tuned for this on the channel because this will definitely be it's been so long that I don't even remember what we called him. Tangent.
Oh yeah, top 10 childhood idols.
Yeah,
Peter Pan is in there. So is Mighty Mice. Here I come to say today. He killed the cat.
If Hulk Hogan didn't do what he did, would he be on your list?
No, I'm talking about me as a child. Hulk Hogan was a childhood idol. He would make the list. He still makes the list. Not current Marcus would not put any of these people in his top 10 favorite characters at all. But childhood heroes, Hogan is on that list. Probably at number like 7. Somewhere behind Bigfoot.
Do you know who's on my list?
And I didn't even mean Bigfoot. I meant the what's the monster truck name? Fuck. Whatever.
Well, Alf is going to be on my list.
So sassy. So sassy.
Alf is definitely on my list. Not Harry and the Hendersons.
Not Mr. Belvedere or Small Wonders, what's her name? Vicky or any of these shitty ass shows? Harry the Henderson. I hated that show so much, by the way. It's the worst show ever.
Yeah, so stay tuned for more nonsense that's going to happen across this channel. Like the video, subscribe. We out.
Peace.
End.